This is the ultimate Dreamcast Mini with over 650 games, all the US and Japanese and prototype games, all in one with the retro flag Dream case for the Raspberry Pi 5. So all you need is the case, the Pi, and a controller, and I'll share with you everything you need to know to set up your own here. This thing will play all your Dreamcast games at full speed, and you're gonna have the ultimate Dreamcast experience. Great game catalog. I love this system growing up. Something I especially liked about the system, look how cute that case is, but something I especially loved about the system was just you could burn games. And you had a CD-ROM drive, you could burn the games, and you would be able to play a lot of those classic games. Marvel vs. Capcom, Crazy Taxi, Sonic, Soul Calibur, the list goes on and on of the great games on this system, and a lot of them still hold up today. The advertising for this system was also amazing. So in this video, we're going to show you that case. If you buy this stuff, you can build it yourself. You can build the ultimate one, or you can just get the games that you were really interested in or want to replay. But either way, this thing is epic. But why don't you have a look for yourself? So this is the finished product, what it will look like when it's all said and done. And a lot of you probably want to know, what are the 650 games included on here, and how does it look? So I'm just going to scroll through all this. Feel free to use the timestamps below. I think a lot of people want to just see the ultimate experience and what it's like. Like if you came over to my house, this is what it would look like showing it to you. But if you want to actually build it and see the case and the exterior, jump to the next timestamp. And there'll be some extra gameplay at the end with my final thoughts as well if you want to see what that looks like. But here, you'll see the gameplay, the artwork, and the game list all in one.
Round 1. Fight! Usable. Difference. And this is me being friends and future.
Draw. Longbow archer.
昨日の夜電話したんだけど。
ミカちゃん。
Versus Maxi. Battle 1, fight!
As far as gameplay, the BIOS files should already be there. There's a couple different emulator options like Flycast, Redream, but all the games were working for me the way I set it up out the gate. But just make sure you're getting the right ROMs, and the ROMs come in different file formats like CDI, CHD. Some are just going to be more compressed than others. The more compressed, sometimes better as far as you need less storage to store them. But as you see here, the games run great. If it's a 50 hertz or 60 hertz game, it'll still allow you to select that in the beginning of the game. And you do have these bezels here on the left, on the right, and you can turn those on or off. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can play with shaders and change the look of the system as well. So here it is, the Dream case. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's check it out. It's got the LAN, everything's accessible, and it is for the Raspberry Pi 5 only. So check your board, make sure it says what the board is. It'll tell you right on the board. Heatsink, that's nice. So some nice cooling. How freaking cute is that? So it's like 1, 2, 3, like 4 inches by 4 or 5 inches. You got the USB ports in the front. You got this detachable plate here, which gives you access to those ports in the back. And then it has that power switch. It looks like there's an LED there, we'll see. And then you can put your little micro SD cards here in the middle. How cute is that? The heatsink is on there. To be honest, you might want to screw it before you connect. I don't know, it's up to you. But I got one screw there, I'm going to do the other screw there. And then these 2 screws are from the case. The bottom of the case will drive those ones in. But the 2 middle ones, there's no screw on the outside, so you got to screw them in from the inside. So at this point in the video, you have your Raspberry Pi in the Dream case. It's looking good, and now we got to put some games on here. And there's some preloaded images you can get out there where you just literally, you just one-stop shop. You transfer them onto here, you plug it in, it's good to go. And that's very easy. Some of you want to build your own though, or just put the games you want. And so in order to do that, we have two methods to do that. One is through either a wired connection or Wi-Fi, and then get the ROMs from a different computer, just Wi-Fi in from like a laptop into here, and you could just transfer the ROMs via the Wi-Fi. And I'll show you just the settings you want to enable for that really quick. And then the second way that I'm doing in this video, because I'm having issues getting on my Wi-Fi, is I'm going to start with a stock image. I'm going to put Batocera on here, start from scratch, and then on a separate either thumb drive, or I have more micro SD cards, I could go ahead and just plug these in at the same time and then transfer the ROMs from my storage device to my main system device. There's another way too where I can literally just have two SD cards or two hard drives, like put this and then have a hard drive store all my ROMs. That's a third way as well. So you have options here. My whole thing is using things I already have around my house versus buying new things. If you're buying this new, I would probably just go with like a 512 gigabyte. I think that's a good price to performance to upgradability. But what we're going to do first is you definitely want to get one of these all-in-one readers. You can get them USB Type-C or Type-B or A, and then we got our micro SD card, and we're just going to plug this into my main computer here and download Batocera, put it on here. Once we have the system on the SD card, we take it out of our computer, put it into our Raspberry Pi, and we can boot up for the first time. So you could just search Batocera Linux, go to their website, go to downloads, and we want the Raspberry Pi 5. If you even just click this image right here, it'll automatically start downloading, but you have other methods of download here at the top. Once you download it, it will give you a zip file, so you might want to get 7-zip. That is another good app to get. Just good to have in general. 7-zip will extract the file you just downloaded, so you might also want to get 7-zip. So I went ahead and already unzipped it, and so I have my end file here. I think it's a .img file. So SD card formatter is sdcard.org. You can download it there. 32 here, you can get it for free. So it's a disk image file. And then now we want to get our micro SD card ready. So the first thing to do is I downloaded this program called SD Card Formatter. It's just a really good program. And so you can see my 1 terabyte SSD or SD card, and then you can name it whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Quick format, and just format it really quick, just to keep it fresh, keep it clean. So at this point, we have formatted our SD card, and then we want to go ahead and get Win32 disk imager. And here's Win32. Make sure you have it on the right drive. You can see here I have 2 drives plugged in right now. It's definitely my G drive. Then you're going to hit this folder over here, and you're going to navigate to this Batocera image. Batocera image, I have it going to the right device. And then we're going to go ahead and hit this right button, and then it'll ask you, are you sure you want to do this? And you say yes. You'll wait for it to go to 100%, and then you're done. You could pop it out of your computer. All right, so we've got Batocera on here. I've already set this whole image up, but it's red light. Wait for that red light to turn up. Give it a second. And so I've already installed a custom theme, but either case, an Xbox 360 controller is really easy. It's plug and play. If you're having any issues with your controller, just press start under controller, go over here to controller, and you can change all your controls, enable Bluetooth, connect to wireless controllers, things like that. But the first thing we want to do is this is where you have to decide how you want to transfer your ROMs. I'm just going to show you briefly what to do. The first thing you want to do is go to system settings. If you want to do it by Wi-Fi or by a wired connection, is go over to system settings and then start system settings front-end developer options. And you want to go ahead and enable public web API access. So you want to turn that on. And so then when you're on your computer that's on the same network as this Raspberry Pi here, all you have to type is http://Batocera:1234, that's the port, and it'll automatically just get into here. So that's whether you're wired in or Wi-Fi, it enables that. But now you still have to connect to the internet too. So you go to network settings over here, and you can connect to any Wi-Fi network. You click here to Wi-Fi SSD, and just like you would to your computer, find the Wi-Fi network. You might have to enable Wi-Fi as well. This is off when you first boot up. And then find the SSID, type in the password, hit back, and then it'll automatically connect. If you're having any issues with the network, it's always good to check that you're online. You can go over here to up downloads and just click the content download, for example, and you can see I'm not currently connected to the Wi-Fi. And so I'd have to go back and figure out what was wrong with my networking. Once you're all done there, you just drag and drop the ROM to the right directory. So go to the Dreamcast folder and drop your Dreamcast games into the Dreamcast folder. Or if you want to add other systems, you can do that as well. So now let's show you the last step, which is getting the ROMs transferred via the USB. So for that, you could get a regular thumb drive. You can get a regular USB thumb drive. I'm basically kind of making my own with an extra micro SD card I have standing around, but I'm going to plug this into my computer, put my ROMs on here, and then what you do is you plug in a keyboard. I'll show you how to do that all in a second. So part of this video is I wanted to download all the Dreamcast games out there. Part of this video I wanted to download all the Dreamcast games. So there's a few different lists out there depending on if you check this Dreamcast title list or even if you check the Wikipedia. I think the Wikipedia quotes something like 619 games, but they're including the PAL releases and the Japanese releases as well. And I think if you want pretty much all the games, you're going to want the Japanese and the North American. So the way to acquire the ROMs is you can just go online and just download the ones you want. Use a Google search. You could probably find them very easily. I'll put a link to the backups.me. I'm using the Retro Game Saviors pack here. He has it for a retro bat build for PC or Batocera Linux. So it's meant for this. So it's a drag and drop build. And then he has a version 2. There's a version 1 and a version 2. Version 2 doesn't build on a version 1. It's a standalone. So might as well get the most recent version, which is version 2 only. And so you can download this 135 gigabytes, and it gives you something like 300 Dreamcast games. So there must be some PAL games within the North American games, from my understanding. And if you want, I went ahead and, because I want to make the ultimate Dreamcast, I went ahead and downloaded the Japanese games as well. Once you download the game, the file is going to be called RGS Dreamcast JP. I actually already have 7-zip open. So there they are. And then you get a folder and you get all the games, and you even get all the media as well, the box art and all that. So I went ahead and extracted this. It's all extracted on my computer. Thumbstick, whatever you have, a thumbstick, a hard drive. And then I'm going to transfer it here. Once it's done transferring here, I'm going to put it in my Pi, and I'll show you how to transfer it onto the Pi. All right, so now you have ROMs on this thumbstick or on an external hard drive. Go ahead and turn on your Pi, plug in that hard drive via the USB, and then plug in a keyboard and hit F1 on your keyboard. That'll open the file system. You do have to be on the main menu of Batocera, so make sure you're on the main menu right as you boot up, hit F1. Just like a file system on a Windows computer, you got your I got my portable device here. I'm adding the Japanese ROMs in this particular example. Give it a second to load, and then there you go. You got all your ROMs of these files here, and then you get that media folder. I think you press Control A, or you can right click and say Select All, and then you go to Edit Copy or Control C. Then I'm going to go ahead and go to the main menu here, click on ROMs, head over to the Dreamcast folder, and you can see I already have my English ROMs in here, my English media in here, because I already added all those games. And then as you see here, I have some files that are the same. So you want to go ahead and overwrite those. You want to make sure that you have both. You can always double check, right? Make sure that both ROMs are in there. Just look at the file names. And then with the media, make sure you have the media for both the English and the Japanese. But if this is just, you're just adding ROMs on your own, you could just drag and drop the ROMs in the media. You can even use the scraper function in here to scrape the artwork if you don't have it. The last little final touch is you definitely want to download a theme to make this look cooler. So just connect it to the Wi-Fi and then go to the theme downloader. And there's just so many cool themes to change the looks of your front end here, your ultimate Dreamcast. And that's it. Everything else is up to you to customize. All right, so there you have it. Another great game, Revolt. I think they're making a remake of the game, or they did. I don't know, but really fun game, racing game. And I really enjoyed this build. It took me a lot of time just making sure I got the right packs, setting it all up to where I wanted it. And there's always something that comes up along the way. But that's what makes projects like these so great. It's a great story. It's a great piece that I'll probably keep around for a long time on my shelf, even if I'm not playing it. It's nice and small and tidy. And overall, I think it's great. I think the value is decent. especially because the Raspberry Pi 5 can play all of these Dreamcast games. And then remember, there is a resale value in all this stuff as well. If you ever, you're done with it, you want to resell it. You can absolutely build this, though, on your own without the case and with your own computer. That's totally up to you and can be done easily. You can kind of follow this along a little bit. You can still use those same ROM packs I was using. And remember, you can build this yourself if you just want a few games. Maybe you only want like Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur, and some of the heavy hitters for this system. Maybe you don't want those Japanese games. You could totally customize this any way you want. But overall, the case is sick. I love that the power button works. You can store the micro SD cards in it. You still have access to all your ports. Has a fan and a heatsink included because these Pis do get hot. And if you're going to be gaming for hours on end, you want to make sure that a couple things can happen. The Pi probably won't overheat, but sometimes the Pi gets so hot that it corrupts your memory card, your SD card. So you want to be careful about that. You don't want any melted SD card. So this is really well made. It's beautiful, cute, amazing. But anyways, that's what I think. Let me know what you all think, and we'll catch you on the next